Hi, I want to talk about the work I'm currently doing with businesses to create working cultures where the people within the business don't have barriers which limit their communication and their ability to understand each other. I've developed a methodology to enable this to be created because culture is something that everybody's talking about at the moment as being one of the most important things in business. That when the culture's right and people feel at home, they feel valued, they get on well with their colleagues, and all of that chemistry is working really well, then the operational flow of the business or the organisation is optimised, if you like. So we're all inspired by the possibility of that, but the real challenge we have is how to actually make that happen, how to create that. And of course, whenever we're talking about human relationships, whenever we start to tackle relationships with people, there is always the fear that when you confront things that aren't working in relationships, or you try and talk about improving relationships, that people can get disgruntled, they can be reactive, they can get angry, they can feel resentful, and that actually can disturb the operational status quo or worsen it. At least that's people's fears. So for a long time, I think we failed to tackle the possibility of people really getting on well, building authentic business relationships with one another, and therefore really feeling they belong to that company, they belong to the business, and they're willing to go the extra mile to make the business successful. So how exactly do we do that, and how do we achieve that? I'd like to start delivering a series of short videos that hopefully people who are interested in learning how to create an optimum working culture will find interesting from the perspective of there are many different aspects to this kind of work. And by breaking it down into small bite-sized chunks, I think it's going to be easier to digest, and hence I'm going to run a series now of small videos. So today I want to start with looking at some fundamental pillars to the work that I'm doing and why these pillars are important. So essentially, I believe that a culture is created when there is a clear vision of why the company was established, why the business does what it does. And in order to understand that vision, there needs to be a process of working it out and creating it with key people that are responsible for the success of the business. So that might be the CEO of the business, the managing director, a senior team. It may be a key group of protagonists, and how they show up or who they are is not about seniority. It's really about people who very much care about what the business is trying to deliver and what the business does. And finding those people and bringing those people together to create a business that everybody can really believe in and buy into is very much the first step. When you've got a clear vision, that becomes the barometer, if you like, to look at whether behaviours, interactions, methods, activities within the business are aligned to getting closer to achieving that vision. So if you don't have a clear vision and you're just in business to make money and are purely commercially driven, then what I'm going to be talking about over this series of videos probably won't interest you. Because the purpose of a vision is really to bring about human harmony through the interactions that go on within the business. Another important point to make is that this is not about reinforcing hierarchy within business. I believe that the existence of hierarchy is an antiquated and an outdated way of looking at human relationships within business and within any organisation. What I'm proposing as an alternative is something I would like to call deep democracy. So deep democracy is founded around a sense of common principles or core values that everybody feels are important to them. Values such as openness and honesty, values such as integrity, respect, effectiveness, service. There are many different values. But these values are things that people have to agree on because they will inform and guide the way that people behave. And then the vision, which we've talked about, is, why we're doing what we're doing, what is the impact we're trying to have, what is the services that we're trying to create, and why are we doing that, who benefits from those services. All of that is part of vision. The purpose of the business is really, what's the mission? What is the mission here? What is it that we're trying to achieve? So if I look at my business in trying to give a baseline for you to understand the ensuing videos that are going to come, I need to talk about my vision, my mission, and my values. So first thing is that I am not talking about the commercial side of enterprise. I am talking about the human side of enterprise. And what I'm saying is, for far too long, work and business has often created a lot of frustration, a lot of misery for people, because people need to have economy in order to pay their bills and to live, and therefore they have to be in work. But I'm proposing that work could be a place where people can flourish, where they can grow, and where they can blossom, because their values align to the values of the company. And the vision of the company is something they really believe in and they really connect with, and therefore they actually feel that they're doing something worthwhile beyond just earning a salary. So I believe that can only happen by creating deep, authentic relationships within the business. And that's something now as a business community, and I believe as a global community, we now have to start proactively and consciously working out how to do that and make a commitment to trying to create that alongside the operational needs of keeping the business running. And that is what my work is about. So my vision is a world of work where people are fully engaged with one another, are able to be fully authentic in their engagement with one another, a deep level of emotional intelligence around how to deal with negative emotions and negative consequences of failures within the working arena, all of that aside of human relationships, and with an aspiration to reach the point where everybody feels fully comfortable with one another, so that the operational day-to-day running the business is easy and it flows, and there's a general support network there that allows all that to happen effectively without damaging the well-being, the morale, or the health of the people in the business. Included in that is that business and work doesn't take away important energy that needs to be invested in bringing up a family in a healthy way. For far too long, people have arrived home because they need to work, very tired and exhausted from work, and therefore bringing up children is often another chore, whereas actually it should be a central part of our service to future generations and the world we want to create beyond this point. So that's my vision. My values are all about compassion, understanding, unity, and creating harmony in human relationships within business and beyond, and globally within the world. And my purpose is to share the methodology which I have discovered through my own personal journey in transforming a lot of the barriers in myself that prevented me from leading a healthy, connected and engaged life. So my mission is to communicate the methodology, involve people in it, teach it to people so that they can begin to deliver that out into their working arenas. We're starting in business because business has always been the dominant sector, and as the dominant sector, if we can create credibility around this methodology and around these ideas and show that it's feasible to create from a dysfunctional community into a functional community within small business arenas, then we can assume that we can keep growing this and scaling this up, and it's something that we can apply to much larger organisations and hopefully at the international level as well. So that is my mission. So the following videos will be between 4 to 6 minutes, and these will hopefully give you food for thought, delivered in very much a in-the-moment fashion, so that hopefully what I'm saying is authentic and is based on experience, not coming from some theoretical structured way of understanding the information and the knowledge that I wish to impart with my audience. Thank you.